Hello there, my name is Davis, and welcome back to the Real Valladolid Career Mode Challenge Series. In the last episode, we made it through pre-season, brought in a number of big name players, for us anyway, with some really good potential, like the likes of Upamecano from, I thought he wasn't at Leipzig at the time, but we also brought in, and Kangu was at Leipzig, both of them in the mid 80s, big strength to add to the team. And we also brought in a defensive, more senior player, Diego Carlos, 28. I mean, he's not by no means old, but he's the oldest in the team now. So he is currently our captain going into this new season. In the background of this video, at the background of this intro, we should start to see the highlights of our first game of the episode. A pretty boring match by all means. First goal coming in the 50th minute against Villarreal, but it was a big match nonetheless. We needed to win. They were level on points with us after the first two games, and thankfully we managed to seal the victory with a nice little worked goal finished off by Jonathan David. And that's the first game out of the way for the episode. I tried to fit one in quickly before we during the intro, because we got quite a fair bit to do today. Starting with, as you can see here, we have sold Waldo, the last remaining player, more or less, from the original starting 11 of Valladolid. He has been sold for a very big price of 38 million altogether, 33 added to our transfer budget and to Olympique Lyon in France, and now we are looking for a replacement ourselves to fill the gap. I've got a number of transfer targets I'm going to show you, but they might be a little bit unexpected. I'm going for a senior figure who's got unbelievable, obviously they're going to be a good player, hopefully, if we can get him in, but a player that has done it, and specifically, if I can find Transfer Hub, specifically a player of the likes of James Rodriguez or Isco. Both players fantastic. Both coming to the end of their peak, shall we say. James Rodriguez been loaned out for the last couple of seasons, hasn't really made an impact at Real Madrid. Isco hasn't been loaned out, but he hasn't quite had the impact at Real Madrid. And now with some of the players that Real Madrid have signed on the game, these are more, I imagine, are more or less fringe players. And I'd like to sign one of these, bring their experience for the European thing. Hopefully they'd want to drop down. I know they're going to have big wages, but hopefully we can get them. If not, backup option, Amin Harit, another youngster. I say youngster, he's 24. 5-star skills, 3-star weak foot, great player, decent stats, very good speed, acceleration anyway, and he's decent on the ball. But I would very much like to, first of all, Isco, my first target, number one. He's one of my favourite players in real life. I'd love to get him in and see what he's like at Valladolid. If that fails, we go for James, and we go from there. As you can see at the top here, we have made a cheeky little offer for Ludwig Blatterberg of Juventus. I believe he is the regen of Zlatan Ibrahimovic. We had an offer accepted for him for 3.5 million. I will do that negotiation off screen. Hopefully we can get him in. It'd be a nice little backup striker. He's got unbelievable pace already. Physicals are great. Decent ball control, and he's only 19. So I mean that would be very nice to have as backup. But yeah, let's hopefully sign a big name player. And we did manage to sign one of the players I wanted. James Rodriguez is now a Valladolid player. Obviously, we went for Isco first. That was my main target, but Real Madrid obviously see the value in him. Obviously, want him more, and they just wanted way too much that we could offer. We got him down to 45 million, but even still, we could have paid for him. Just wouldn't have been anywhere near his wages. So we went for James Rodriguez instead, and honestly, it's he had better technical stats. Obviously, he's a little bit slower. Legs are going a little bit 1 year older, and he has the lower weak foot lower star weak foot. But I'm still very happy to get him in. Experienced player now. He had a masterclass at one of the World Cups, was it, when he scored that goal. He's top goal scorer. He's done it all, and he's gonna bring a great deal of experience into the team. But just to accommodate him, we've had to change the team's tactics around, and this is how we line up going into the new season. Officially, 4-1-2-1-2 narrow. Soumare, the sole CDM now. I think he's more than good enough to do the job there on his own. Kubo and then Nkunku. Nkunku will be more of a box-to-box player, traditional centre mid. I'm more than confident you can do the job there. Kubo will be, if any of you are familiar with Football Manager and the Mezzala role, hopefully he could do that. He'll drift wide a little bit more, get down into the inside spaces inside the fullback and the centre back, and try and use that pace to attack from there. James is our main man in the cam. I mean, he's gonna be the dictator in there, spraying the passes, making the through balls. And we have Jonathan David and Renier up top making the runs and hopefully doing the business once again this season. Back four stay the same. We did sign Bratberg in the end. I mean, his stats are incredible. He is I believe he is the Zlatan Ibrahimovic regen. And if he can be anything like Zlatan, we've got a bit of a gem on our hands already. 3-star, 3 stars, decent. Left-footed, which is a personal favourite of mine, as I'm left-footed as well. High-low, can't ask for more. So he's on the bench. Probably play him a little bit more than, we'll share time with Plaza. And Morientes has made his way from the youth squad into the first team. He'd had enough of the youth squad, he wanted out. So he's made his way, but I don't think he's gonna be around for too long. 1-star weak foot makes him almost unusable, especially if for a centre attacking mid or centre forward. It's just not going to be possible. He's got unbelievable potential between like 93 and 94, but he's not going to be. I'm just not going to be able to get on with him, I don't think, with that weak foot. I've tried using 1-star weak foot youth players before. They're just so bad. But other than that, his stats are great. We might get a decent little amount for him come the next season. And yeah, that's it. That's how we line up. And our next game is against Alaves. And this will be the first game I'm going to sim. I'm going to make some changes though, because the next game is a very, very big game. Costa is going to make his way in. Ampadu can start. Alcaraz can start. We'll keep the front 3 and Nkunku as it is. And yeah, we'll keep it like that. So the first simmed game of this career mode away to Alaves is going to be very, very... It's a risky one, don't get me wrong. Hopefully the boys can get a win and keep us level with that front pack of 3. Sevilla, Barcelona and Sociedad, who've won all 4 games. Alaves have only won one. They are still unbeaten, to be fair to them. 1 win and 2 draws. But hopefully we can turn these over on their home patch. Deep breaths, please. It's a 2-2 draw. It's not a bad start whatsoever. James Rodriguez getting his debut, on a goal on his debut. And of course, that man, Renier, coming up with the goals as well. Continues his good form on this start of the season. John Guidetti and Perez, formerly of Arsenal, I believe, getting the goals for Alaves. Not a bad result at all. 2-2 away from home. And as you see by the different graphics, we are into the Europa League, into the big time. And this is where we need to start showing what we are made of. Konyaspor, I mean, I'm not expecting too much. I think they're a Turkish team. And I'm expecting to at least, I dare say, to top this table. Olympiacos could definitely be a threat. I don't know enough about the Portuguese team, who I'm not going to dare to pronounce. And I definitely don't know enough about Konyaspor. But I do feel that we can definitely do well and get out of this group. But let's get into our very first game in Europe. Right, first game in Europe, let's make a big impact. I want to get out of this group. I want to get into the knockouts. I want to show, I would say the world, but let's be honest, not everyone watches the Europa League. It's a BTEC Champions League for a reason, but it's still a cup we can win regardless. You got Derek Ray and Lee Dixon on the match commentary. Got all the top names in, you know. And hopefully we can do a job away from home. Full strength side. Renier's pinched it already, as we would love to see early on in the game, as Nkunku gives her away. That's one thing with this new formation. The pressure's a little bit more on the fullbacks to get forward and be to make the width for our team, really. As we get through, Jonathan David, it's 1-0 already. Come on! That's what we like to see. Don't know where the defenders have gone. Nice little ball inside, and Nkunku acres of space, Jonathan David. Defender gets a touch on it, but there's no saving that. First goal in a European competition. Jonathan David, he's having a stormer of a season so far. But yeah, before I was rudely interrupted by our fantastic little goal. Our fullbacks are going to be the men to be creating the width if we continue to play this formation, at least. Jonathan David's in again. Left foot. It's 2-0. 20 minutes gone. We're running riot. I don't even know what part of Turkey. I don't even know if they're actually from Turkey, but they're just not ready. The world isn't ready for Valladolid. They're bracing. 2 goals in 6 minutes. Ball is still alive. James Rodriguez in the edge of the box. Jonathan David, he's made space for himself, and it's a hat-trick in the first half. Come on! What a boy. That's fantastic running. Picks the ball up. Lovely burst of pace to make the space. And that 5-star weak foot. Could have pulled it back and hit her on his left, can hit her on his right. That's such a good trait to have, the 5-star weak foot. And we've sealed this game in the first half. Where does that come from? Oh, the new man on the block. Our new centre attack in mid. He's still got it. 30 years of age. No signs of stopping now. What a strike that is. Opens the body up past the defender. Bang. Whips it. Nice little finesse. Keeper's not saving that. And I'm liking what I'm seeing from James Rodriguez so far. 4-0, bang on half time. What a start to our European tour. Oh, we've pinched it. It's Renier. Oh, he's tried too much, but he's got away with it. Oh, calamitous defending from Konyaspor. He tries the cheeky chop inside. Defender tries to nick it, comes off the own defender. And Renier gets his customary goal. 5-0. Focus now is absolutely on a clean sheet. We've lost concentration a few times whilst being heavily in the lead. It's a fantastic ball. James, Renier, he whistles past the post. What a lovely little through ball that was from James. Renier usually finishing them. But yeah, keep a clean sheet for us now. Keep that goal difference looking very sharp. I believe it's still 1-1 in the other game in the group, which is great for us. James makes the run. It's just that lack of pace. I think if that was the other way around, if that was James feeding Jonathan, he's making that, and that is 6. But 65 minutes gone. Time for some changes. Keep the legs fresh. James hasn't got the greatest stamina. Definitely just going to be a burst player. I'm going to give Brad Berger his debut. Drop down Jonathan into the cam. He can definitely play there. Kubo will make way for Alcaraz. And let's give Tabarez a break for Abba. That's our 3 subs done. Our first look at Bratberg, and I've just noticed he's already wearing number 10 over James Rodriguez, so that is going to need to get changed as Konyaspor register their first shot on target, I think, of the game. A good save from Bustos. I thought that was landing straight on the head, but I think that was Upamecano who gets his head in the way. Last 2 minutes, Sumare, fantastic. It's a ball, mind. That's up. Bradberg unable to skip away. And that is where we close the game out. 5-0. First European victory, and what a victory it is. Hat-trick for Jonathan David, second one of the season. And we are flying. So massive victory. First game in Europe for us, 5-0 win. Very happy with that indeed. But once again, our attentions turn back into the league as we have 2 very tough games to start. Going straight into Sevilla at home, and then followed by current table toppers Real Sociedad. I think that might, I don't know whether that's home or away, but yeah, Sociedad flying at the start of the season, currently top of the league. And before we get to them, 3rd place Sevilla stands in our way, and we have a big chance of leapfrogging them into 3rd, potentially 2nd, depending on how Barcelona get on. They have got Osasuna though, who aren't the best of sides. I'd imagine they pick up at least a point there, but still a big chance for us to go into 2nd place. into third place, and hopefully we can secure the dub. So ultimately, it was a disappointing end to this episode. After going so strong so early on, keeping pace with the leaders. I know we drew one with the simulation match, but we were still in and amongst them. We did drop to the top two. Basically, we played in consecutive currently. So Sevilla, a disappointing game to be leading 1-0 and then to give away two silly, poor defensive mistakes really, and to lose the points at home there. Was a big blow, and then also against Real Sociedad, nothing short of a goalkeeping howler. Affords us gives us the draw rather than a deserved win, I would have said, considering we dominated most of that game away from home. But that's football. Sometimes shit happens and we just gotta dust ourselves off, and we go again in the Europa League, and that'll be for the next episode. Olympiacos at home. We're the two teams who have won the first games of the group stage, so should be an interesting one, and we'll probably decide who tops the league, or who goes. I imagine it'll be between us and Olympiacos going through. First and second, it'll just depend on who is first and who is second. So hopefully it's a good one next episode. If you've enjoyed, leave a like. If you've not enjoyed, leave a dislike. It all helps me regardless. If you want to keep up to date with the rest of the series, you can always subscribe. That's no problem at all. Thank you very much for watching. I've been Davis, and good night.